What is up, everybody, and welcome into a snowy DNVR pregame lounge here at DNVR HQ. Our show presented by Draftking Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Top-rated. You're going to want to download right now on your phone. Free app. Download it. Use promo code DNVR because we're going to give you some bets that we think will win. I usually say can't miss, but I missed yesterday.
Sometimes we miss a lot.
I missed yesterday, yeah.
I think we just overthought yesterday.
Well, I bet on MPJ, and MPJ missed.
Well,
so
everybody
was
wasn't yesterday.
We
so
were
what
all
are we going to
missing.
do tonight? Okay. Well, we'll get to it, but I'm thinking we're going to bet on MPJ all
That's
over
right,
again,
baby, because today we have some fun stuff. I got playoff matchups. I know it's early. We're like 1/3 the way through the season. I know it's crazy. Like when you say it like that, let's go ahead and put that back here so I don't spell. When we so much dad energy.
Yeah, that's right.
When I
need a dad.
We're going to talk about playoff matchups 1/3 through the season. We're just going to look at right now. The season ended right now. Who would the Nuggets beat? Who would they not? We're going to have some hype. We're going to get some good vibes going. There's been negative vibes, like a little cloud hanging over this show and over Michael Porter's performance over the last couple. We're going to shake those off. We're going to kick the dust under the fridge, and we're going to get going. I'm joined by the man with the wind in his hair over here.
Our power's still on, so that's good.
Yeah,
we haven't lost power yet.
That's tight.
We're
That's
good.
good.
We're doing
good. Start.
Vibes are good in that respect.
I want to talk about good vibes. Brendan's shirt. Lots of good vibes.
In the chat, liking Brendan's shirt as well.
Of course.
The chat's had my back lately. I appreciate it. We've come a long way from me calling Jokic disappointing. I love you. I love all of you.
That's right. And then over here, we've got Duvalier.
I love Brennan's shirt. It's the best shirt. It's a good shirt.
So we get some game notes, guys. There's some updates. We've been waiting on some missing players. I hear there is some updates on that. For more, we turn to Harrison Wynn. How do you like this reporter voice? I should do a whole show with reporter voice.
Official. Yeah.
Should I start coming in a suit?
Hey, guys. Yeah.
On the injury front, Gary Harris is back tonight. Missed the last, how many games did he miss?
It feels like a lifetime.
Several. He missed several games with an adductor strain. He is back in the lineup. I don't think the starters are out quite yet, but the Nuggets typically, they've had a lot of experience bringing back Gary Harris from injuries. They typically like to bring him off the bench when he's coming back from these lower body injuries. So that's what I would expect. Monte Morris is also playing tonight, I saw. So maybe he slips into the starting lineup. He only missed a game. Michael Malone also gave an update on Paul Millsap, or didn't really have an update, but he got hurt in that Laker game, obviously, sprained his knee. Malone said they're still waiting for test results to come back from Boston, where the Nuggets began this road trip, where I assume he underwent some tests.
That means he's on the road trip.
He is, I guess that does mean that, to see how long he is going to be out. My read on that is he's probably going to be out for a bit.
You think?
Yeah.
Why come to Boston?
I mean, if they're waiting for, like, test results, what could those test results say? Like, everything's amazing. He can go out there and play.
They could. Again. That's why you wait for test results. I just think it's weird that you would even bring a player on the trip if it was like, we don't think he's going to be back for a long time. But
yeah, because I just kind of got the sense of, we don't know how long he's going to be out until we get these test results back.
Well, we can run ourselves in circles trying to speculate and read the tea leaves on that. Jokic showed up on the, what's that?
They just dropped starters.
They just dropped him? Or we have a new update. Do you have it, Harrison?
Let me see here.
Do we have an update on Nikola Jokic? He showed up on the injury report today with a right thumb.
Yeah, and that's like the first time that I feel like I've ever seen Jokic on the injury report. He's like a player that just never seems to be injured. I think there was like something with his wrist at one point, but this is the first time that I've seen him on the injury report, at least this year.
Was there a catalyst, like a moment? Did anyone catch that? I didn't see anything.
I didn't see it either.
With Monte?
No, with Jokic.
I didn't see it. There was a moment where it was right before he came out of the game for good and he committed that Euro foul, and you can kind of see him look down at his hand. I don't know if that's when it happened, but I saw that when I kind of went back and looked for it.
Okay.
But I don't think anything for sure. I don't see the starters, Kale. Do you want to shout out who the comment section's saying? Because I don't see it.
O'Brien is saying the starting five is Murray, Harris, MPJ, Green, and Jokic.
He might just be guessing. We'll wait for it to drop.
Might be his preferred starting five.
But that seems like a lineup that I would go with.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. It does sound like a reasonable starting lineup.
So that's it on the injury front. I assume Yoke's going to play. A note on the Wizards, though, that Michael Malone was talking about pregame. They play at the fastest pace in the league. The Wizards love to get up and down. Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook love to get up and down the floor. So they want to turn this into a track meet. They also get to the line a ton. So I mean, that's not a surprise. Russell Westbrook loves to get to the line. That's like his whole game these days. So that's what Washington's going to try to do. Get out and run, get to the line. And that's kind of scary if you're the Nuggets on the second night of a back-to-back. Maybe a little tired, a little foul-prone. So that's probably the top concern for Denver.
One game after playing at a higher pace and Jokic understandably looking a little tired in the fourth. And, anytime you have two guards that like to run and can move, it's tough for the Nuggets. Gary Harris could not have come back any sooner, really.
Yeah. Let's talk about on the other side. Is there any? What do we know about the Wizards side? One thing I will say is, Gary Harris comes back and he gets the toughest assignment. Actually, if you just look at a points per game, Bradley Beal right now leading the NBA, and we were having some fun before the show went live, just saying, okay, what can he hold Bradley Beal to his season low? I don't think so. His season low is 7. His second season low is 24, and then he's played 23 games this year. 21 have had 26 or more points. So if by chance Gary Harris gets to come into this game and has an opportunity to hold Bradley Beal to 25 or less, it would be a miracle.
Yeah.
It'd be a miracle if Bradley Beal scores under 25 because it's only happened 2 times this year. It's just crazy stat.
Yeah, Beal's coming off 37 points against the Rockets 2 nights ago. The Wizards won 131-119. He had some, nice little chip-ins. Davis Bertans is playing better recently. He chipped in 18, 5 of 6 from 3 in that game. So Washington, it's a dumpster fire, but they'll make you work,
Singer reporting now, so we got it. It was right. So Gareth actually the first on this. The very first shouts to him for breaking
You heard it
the
here
story.
first. The YouTube live chat.
They dropped it on their Instagram story is where he found it.
Oh, wow.
Correct.
Oh, wow. So, yeah, you get
Nice.
Jamal Murray, Gary Harris, Michael Porter Jr., Jermichael Green, Nikola Jokic. Interesting starting lineup. Should be a lot of fun. A couple things here. The Porter Green. So you get the starters, but with Porter and Green. I do think there's something to Millsap and Porter. The numbers hadn't really been great. We'll see if this is like a little kind of a quick fix here. You put Green in there, see if it opens things up. And then, of course, Gary Harris just getting that opportunity right from the bat to guard a player that, and let's be honest, Gary Harris, that's the type of player he's very good at guarding.
Right.
Scoring guards that aren't necessarily super quick. They're just really skilled.
I think that the best thing about this lineup is this is like the ideal lineup of what people want going
So
into
true.
the playoffs. Like
Yeah.
this, if you had to
Great
conduct
point.
a lineup, this will be the one that you
the
will
one
go
everyone's
with.
calling for.
So this is like our first time getting at it, and especially to have Gary Harris come back against Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook, that shows that Gary might be back to himself, or at least coming off like right, because he's usually a player that you come off of the bench with. But to put him against Russell Westbrook and Bradley Beal, like to start it, I think that's just great to see where he's at.
Yeah, I know Beal's playing at another level this year, but last year, Gary held Beal to his lowest scoring game of the year. Last year, that was 14 points.
Yeah,
That was an
that's
early
awesome.
season matchup in Denver. A Nuggets win. Yeah, he locked Beal down. So we'll see.
I'm trying to see how many minutes this lineup has played together all year, and it is 6. So it hasn't started a game, and it's only played 6 minutes together.
Probably
it
at the
is-
very beginning of the season, that first sub,
Yeah.
Green for Millsap.
And maybe, yeah.
Boom,
okay, for
that's
really.
it.
Well, you want to know they
1
have
minute a game?
I know you can't read too much into small sample size, guys, but they do have a net
Let's
rating.
do it.
A net rating of plus 160.
Let's
So
go. Here
I
we
feel
go.
Really good about it.
Here we
I feel
go.
very good about that number.
Best starting 5.
Best starting 5. All right, let's move on. We're going to play it. I know it's early, guys. We're about 1/3 of the way through the NBA season. Does it feel like 1/3 of the way? Does it feel like that? Has this flown?
Feels about right.
Feels about right to you?
I think so.
The
Yeah.
perception of time is
I would
really,
say, it's, if anything, it's dragged a little.
wow, what a
I mean, it's
take.
been a little, yeah.
I think that the time just like it just feels like the Nuggets play every single night.
That's kind of true. Yeah, we are here a lot. So we're going to take a little early look, and I think it'll be fun to look back on this, maybe a couple months from now and just see how things have changed. But we'll just play a little game of, with the Nuggets match up in the playoffs, do they win or not? And we'll go in order of number 1 to the last. If the Nuggets were to match up with the Utah Jazz right now, how would that series go, Vote?
I think it would go a lot like it went last year. Some differences would be the Jazz would be more potent offensively, whole at this point. It'd be very, very difficult for the Nuggets to win that series, I think, especially if they were starting Paul Millsap at this point.
Yeah.
Look, the Jazz have been the best team in basketball, and if the Nuggets had that record and that resume and people were disrespecting them, like you've said, Adam, we'd probably be pretty upset. So I'm not sleeping on the Jazz. There's just this hang-up, which is that the Nuggets clearly have the very best player in that series.
Ooh,
and as
I
long
like
as
it.
that's the
By
case,
a lot, yeah.
I think this is a 6-7 gamer and not definitive either way.
What do you think, Dev?
I think that it does not matter when they play each other. It does not matter where they play each other. When the Nuggets want to beat the Jazz, they can beat the Jazz. It doesn't matter that they're the top team in the NBA right now, because nobody's actually like projecting them as the team coming out of the West. Like, you still think the Clippers, the Lakers are better than them, and I think that the Nuggets are still better than them. Like Brendan said, they still have the best player in the series. And then we already know what happens in the playoffs with players like Jamal. And also you're starting to like get Michael Porter Jr. rolling and trying to get everyone like into like sync. So I think that that's just a series that they win. Sorry.
Where the two teams are at right now, the Jazz win that series, I think. And that's not to say the
Pragmatic
Nuggets,
Harrison taken coming.
That's not to say the Nuggets eventually in a month or two from now,
Right.
2-3 months,
Sure.
can't be in position to beat the Jazz in the playoff series. I just think right now Utah's just playing at such an unreal level, and the Nuggets just aren't. They just aren't. The Nuggets do have the best player if those teams match up, and it does seem like the Jazz are the best team in the league except for when they play the Nuggets. But I just think it's too much for Denver to handle right now.
I'm with Harrison. I think Jazz win in 6 or 7. I think it's a real close series. I also would bet that by the time the playoffs roll around, I'm going to be picking the Nuggets.
Sure.
But if
Yeah.
it, like you said, the question is if they played right now, and I just think Denver's in a little bit of a low spot other than
for sure.
Jokic. So, I still agree with you that like the Nuggets against the Jazz is still like, even if the Nuggets are here and Jazz are here, it goes to like this. But if the Nuggets can get to here and the Jazz are here, then maybe it goes like this. So in a series against each other. So that's why I go them. All right, let's go to the next team in these standings here, the Lakers.
Never heard of them.
Nuggets play the Lakers. Harrison, I'll let you start on this one. If they played today in a playoff series. Well, Anthony Davis is out, but let's assume he's back.
I would say Lakers in 7.
Ooh.
I think the Nuggets, they match up better with the Lakers this year than they did last
I
year.
agree
For
with this.
sure.
Which
I
is
actually agree with that.
crazy
True.
because like Denver's off season didn't go that well. It seemed like on the surface, and the Lakers retooled and like rebolstered their bench. But the additions that the Lakers made, I think Denver can handle. The bottom line is, for the Nuggets to beat LeBron James in a playoff series, they've got to be just clicking.
Yeah.
100% of the time. They have to play mistake-free basketball.
Mistake-free, yep.
And as we saw the other night, I don't know if they can play mistake-free basketball against the Lakers. I don't know.
What do you think?
I just said that the Jazz, like, there's no way that they could beat the Nuggets. I don't think there's a way that the Nuggets can beat the Lakers in
wow.
the series. I just don't see.
I don't feel that way as much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, like having the switch, especially not having a Dwight Howard or
Right.
someone that could match up with that physicality with Jokic will be a lot. But at the same time, I think that, especially if they don't have Anthony Davis, then LeBron like comes on even more. If not, they still have Anthony Davis and LeBron James. So now it goes from Jokic being the best player on the court to now him not being the best player on the
Yeah.
court.
I'd take the Lakers, but I think it's a better chance for Denver this year. The Nuggets have no answer for LeBron. The Lakers are a little less well equipped to handle Jokic. Now, it went well that first game of the season for LA. Gasol and Harrell's going to work in LA in a way with the Lakers, I should say, in a way it might not with the Clippers, right? But
Maybe.
at the end of the day, if the series gets a little easier for Denver's best player, then you have to think it's a little easier for Denver. I think it's Lakers in 6 or 7. But hey, maybe 2 months from now, you see some more encouraging stuff from MPJ. You're feeling differently about all this stuff.
Yeah, right now I say Lakers in 5 or 6. And the reason I say that, I do think it's easier for Jokic. I think it's a better series. But I think it's an easier series for LeBron
Right.
because he
Yep.
doesn't have Jeremy Grant
Right.
to go
Right.
against.
Right.
And as much as the Nuggets looked nice the other night beating them, I did get the sense of like LeBron found 2 or 3 things that he's like, all right, putting this in the back pocket
Yeah,
because
for
we
sure.
match up. Like I know I can do this. But that's again right now. We'll see what happens. We'll see how the Nuggets evolve between now and then. The Clippers, the 21-8 Clippers. Dev.
Good luck, Dev.
I mean, the Nuggets just showed that they're a better team than the Clippers, and then even the Clippers lost a few pieces. So I do think that the Nuggets can beat the Clippers.
They got Ibaka
because-
that I think is meaningful though against Denver.
Yeah, but I don't think that he's able to guard Jokic. So
Sure.
regardless, you don't got a guy that could guard Jokic. Also, they still have not answered their point guard woes.
true.
So
That's
it's going to
true.
be
It's a
tough for them to do anything against a player like Jamal. And I think that that's also like a situation that they just feel like they're better than the Clippers, even though the world thinks otherwise. So I think that the Nuggets win that one again.
Yeah, what do you think, Harrison?
I think the Clippers in a very close series, 7 games probably. I think the Ibaka signing is massive.
I do too.
It totally changes how you have to guard him because he's such
That
a
end
big
of the
pick and
court,
pop
yep.
threat. That was like my biggest takeaway from that Christmas Day game. It was Ibaka in the pick and pop.
Yep.
They killed Denver in that
Yep.
a couple times.
I agree.
I think that's really tough for the Nuggets to guard. And yeah, like Ibaka can't guard Jokic, but he can guard him a heck of a lot better than Zubats or whoever they got coming off the bench last year. So close series. Denver can win, but right now I'd pick the Clippers.
I think Michael Porter's big in that series, and right now, I mean, obviously, I wouldn't count on him to come up big, but I think that he's big because Denver, to your point, I think is going to have to score even more points, and to do that, they need him. Let's go quick here, guys. We're a little slow here, but Portland Trailblazers.
Oh, I can go on this one.
Did you not give one?
No, I'm just.
go
who cares?
quick. We'll quickly.
Clippers. Sick. Portland, Denver. Give me Denver.
Really?
I don't feel like I need to explain this.
Okay.
I think Denver's better.
I like it.
I'm saying with him, like I don't even feel like it's really.
How's
like
Portland 17-10? I don't get it.
I have no idea either, but I think that teams are going to just try to get Portland in a series.
Portland has a plus 0.6 differential, which means they somehow keep winning despite it looking like they should be losing. Denver,
That's Damian Lillard music right
it
there.
is Damian Lillard
Yeah.
movement. And Denver's plus 3.9 and a much worse record. It's crazy.
Yeah, I would take Denver in 6.
Me
You
too.
wanted to go 5. I saw.
I did want to go 5.
Too much, yeah.
I did want to go 5. Denver in 6.
I'd go Denver in 6 as well. And I also want to go 5. Phoenix also 17-10. Denver's 2-1 against them. 2 overtime games. That's a series right there, man.
That's a
want that series.
great series. I would take Denver in 7 because of Jokic. But Phoenix, top to bottom right now, looking like a far better, more complete team.
I still think that I'm taking Denver maybe in 5 or 6. I don't think that. I mean, you have Jokic.
Yeah.
There's no answer for him on Phoenix.
Yeah. I'm taking Denver in 6. I want to take Denver in 5. None of these dudes on Phoenix, except for Chris Paul, have ever played an important basketball
Yeah,
game in
true.
their lives, man.
Yeah.
DeAndre Ayton, like Mikal Bridges, Cam Johnson, these guys are great. Jay Crowder, I guess, has, but he hasn't been that great this year. They haven't played playoff basketball. The Nuggets are battle-tested. They're experienced. That matters in that kind of series.
I also think Ayton has played him actually pretty well.
Pretty
to your point,
well,
you said he
yeah.
hadn't. I think Jokic plays him 2-3 times in a row. I think game 4, it's like, all right,
yeah.
I got it.
For sure.
I have more adjustments. You kind of don't.
By the way, though, I have become an Ayton guy the way he's approved against Jokic specifically.
It's just what he said about Jokic.
No, I know, but it's because he filed that game away,
Yeah,
man.
that's true. That's a great point.
It changed the way he approached his career. It's awesome.
San Antonio beat Denver this year already once, 16-11. Better record than Denver also.
Well, that last playoff series with the Spurs was so fun. Let's just do it again. The Nuggets.
In
6.
Okay.
A tough 6 game.
are they just like not impressive, but they're going to make it 6?
Yes,
just for
100%.
whatever?
Yeah,
100%.
Nuggets in 6. They know how to win wherever their home would be at the time, if they're in a bubble or not. I think they will win whatever that is. They'll find a way to win a game or two, but the Nuggets are going to be the team to win.
It should be like Nuggets in 5, if we're being honest. But I feel like one of the questions we're still looking to answer, maybe we'll get an answer in the playoffs. Can Denver just come out with some fire at the beginning of a playoff series?
I know, it's so true.
Like, can they just do that? Can
I know,
they come
all
out
of our
good?
answers should
game
just be
1 or 2.
Nuggets
can
in
they?
7, really. Or Nuggets in, not in 7.
Ice under Adam's fridge says Denver just plays with their food too much.
They
It's
really
a great
do.
line.
You know what, though?
Exactly.
San Antonio, Nuggets in 5. Nuggets
All
in
right.
5. I think that one is like Pirtle guarded Jokic pretty well in that series. Jokic still did the thing where he scored well. Jokic is 2 years better than that. Like, I think if he had Pirtle on him now, it'd be like, get out of here, man. Are you kidding me?
I also think you would have a much improved Jamal Murray in that series, which was like a big debut that first time they played the Spurs. That was really tough for him.
Golden State. Now we're getting into the play-in games. We'll go really, really quick here. Golden State
Nuggets.
in.
Wait, what's the play-in game format again?
Oh yeah, that's right. You're right. Yeah, never
Nobody-
mind. Just
nobody
Nuggets.
knows.
Yeah.
Nuggets.
Nuggets.
Nuggets in 1. Yeah.
Okay, Nuggets in 1. Memphis.
Nuggets in 0.5.
They don't even show up for that. Memphis is not going to make it. So it
Yeah,
doesn't
they
even-
might. Dallas.
That'd be a fun one. I think that's one that it'll go like 6 or 7. I think that goes 7.
I don't know. Is Dallas good?
I don't
Are
think
they
they're
any
good.
good?
Yeah.
How would Luka, like, who guards Luka? I think that who guards Jokic, who guards Luka?
Yeah.
I think Denver beats Dallas. I don't think Dallas can stop. This is an interesting one. New Orleans surging.
Yeah, it's not that
Nuggets in
interesting.
4.
Nuggets. Yeah.
Just don't try.
All right. Oh God. Here's a dead serious. This is the last one. Sacramento
Oh my God.
play-in game. Denver has to win 2. Sacramento has to win 1.
We would have the worst
It
summer.
would come down to the fourth quarter of Game 3, no doubt.
It would be the worst summer because the Nuggets would lose to Sacramento.
man.
We'd be so mad.
They'd win, but it would be the worst win of all time.
It's not even a joke. Like, it's a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup for them.
Scary.
I think Nuggets win in a playoff series, but it is rough. All right, let's move on to some MPJ hype, guys. We need some good MPJ vibes because let's be honest, this is the darkest hour. I really believe that for MPJ. The last 7-game stretch has been a low point for him. He just looks like emotional weight on him. Let's get back to a couple basics here. One thing, I think fans, and I said this on Locked On last night, we're in a place now where people are all about trades and this and like, let's make a super team and let's do this. And I think one thing that gets lost in that is the idea of like, it's great when players are faced with the most adversity and somehow overcome it. And I think that it's easy to look at the Michael Porter situation and be like, yes, Malone's really hard on him. Jokic body language against him. All these things. They don't run enough plays, whatever. You can throw the whole book and let's accept all of it. But I think there's something really great about the story of it didn't come easy. And that's why it's so freaking valuable. And I think with the Nuggets, we're 25 games into the season and there's people already trade, get rid of them. The team's wasted him. I hope he goes somewhere else. Part of me just goes, I find this struggle, when you really sit back at it, like I kind of find this struggle beautiful because if he does make it through it, he's better for it.
You said that it didn't come easy. And if there's one player I think in the league, especially on the Nuggets, that it should not have came easy for, I think it's Michael Porter Jr. Like he still did not play a lot of basketball growing up. When he did play, it was probably dad ball. Like he has the makings of a dad ball type of person where he just goes out and
dad
score.
ball?
Yeah, I'm very
Where your
confused.
dad is the coach and he
Oh,
just
okay.
lets you do whatever you want.
Like, this is a new term
Yeah,
for me.
You don't have to learn
Dad
anything.
ball.
You don't have to learn. You're the
Okay,
best
yeah.
player. Give the ball
Makes
to your
sense.
best player and move out of the way. Like
Right.
that's the dad ball. And you could tell that he's probably played for his dad for a lot of the time. But yeah, with that, now you're starting to see, and then it's so early. It's still early in his career that he's gonna go through like all of these negatives, and he could go back like because in a year or two maybe. You're going to go back and say Michael Porter Jr. is like an amazing offensive player. Now he's starting to learn everything else. He has all of the intangibles. He has the body to do whatever he wants on the court. When it finally does click, you're going to go back to these moments where teammates were on him. So now he's learning how to deal with teammates or disgruntled teammates. You're going to learn how you have to play defense and how that really matters. We got to see an embarrassing moment from him. You got to see these nights where he's not making any type of shots whatsoever. So he's actually been through everything that you could. He's went through injury. He's went through everything you could go through as a player in the 2-year span. So when it finally does click, it's like he's going to be a vet like way faster than everyone else. So I think that it's like good that he's learning this right now. And the Nuggets are still at a place that they're winning games and still trying to figure it out.
And there's no confidence that comes from overcoming adversity is the strongest confidence. Like that's the one that can't be shaken no matter what. It's like, dude, are you kidding? You always hear this from players like a Will Barton that says, yo, man, I came up through Baltimore. Like I worked my way from there to where I am now. And people talking bad about me, that's like minor compared to it. And I think with Michael Porter, if he had the instant success and all these different things, and he's on a bad team for 4 years, they're just feeding him the basketball, that confidence might actually be a lot weaker because it was never exposed.
Sure.
It's fully exposed right now. And I think that, again, if he can rebuild it, that confidence becomes more of a core.
I mean, you have to remind yourself that, it looks really bad right now, but if this went seamlessly, we'd be putting money down on a Nuggets title. Like
It probably wouldn't be healthy for us.
The tower thing is incredibly apt because you are talking about breaking down a foundation of a player and rebuilding him back up from scratch. So look at that last result. That last game where, that Jaylen Brown clip, Harrison was terrible, but I didn't think that was the worst defensive game MPJ's played. He had 7 rebounds. He had 3 assists, 0 points. This is a version, like an MPJ box score that 2-3 years ago, literally inconceivable. Right. So, of course, it looks like a bad thing now when his head's hanging.
And it might be a bad thing.
And it might very well be a bad thing. But this could also just be, what happens before. I needed an expression. The opposite of calm before the storm.
I don't know.
You know what I'm saying?
The darkest before the dawn.
The night's darkest before the day.
The storm before the calm.
Ice under a fridge.
Harrison, tonight is an opportunity for a bounce back. He had his worst game, I think, of his career last game, offensively. Yeah. And wasn't like he was great defensively. So tonight, what if I just told you, like in a vacuum, a realistic game Michael Porter is capable of having against the Washington Wizards? What does that look like? A good game. Like an A game.
Michael Porter could come out after how terrible he's played recently and have a 20-point game. You know, he just could. He could come out.
Is that setting the bar even low? Like, I kind of feel like even saying 20, I'm like, he had 19 4 games ago.
I know, but like that's what I'm saying. We were in this spot a week ago exactly. Last Wednesday against the Cavs, he had a couple bad games. Seemed like he had lost some confidence. Comes out against Cleveland, plays the most complete game of his season, maybe of his career.
Not that long ago.
Yeah, that was a week ago. Exactly a week ago, last Wednesday. So, look, that's the beauty of the NBA. You can just forget about your last game literally the next morning, which the Nuggets were able to do on the back-to-back. And, look, if he just gets that first shot to go down, he can go for 20. You know, he can go for 25. It can happen tonight.
Not much.
Especially against the freaking Wizards.
Really not necessarily an inch back guy. It's really could just be the shots fell this time. And if he had that same approach he had against Boston, but this time 3 threes drop, that's a very solid game.
Yeah.
So
do you guys feel like that would be the best outcome tonight? A Nuggets win led by Michael Porter scoring in particular?
No, I think that that's what makes it so much pressure for Michael Porter Jr. is his good games are predicated on how many points he scores. So I think that a average game, not even an average, but like a game that you would expect from anyone else, 15 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists or something like that, just because it's not the points or scoring that worries you about him. It's about the reads and knowing where to be and like just being at the right spot. So I think that lowering your expectations from huge Mike moments to just like, okay, he knows where to be in the offense. He knows exactly like how to operate and how to move around guys, because we want everyone to be good right now. Jokic, we want him to continue being awesome. We want Jamal Murray.
He can actually be a little less awesome. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
we want Jamal Murray to finally come on and score. We want Millsap to do stuff. We want everybody else to score so many points that who else is doing all of the small things? Who's doing everything else? So it puts him in a bad spot that if he doesn't make shots, then we think he has a bad night. And I think that's too much pressure for Michael Porter Jr.
Yeah, I like that. Let's move on to the final segment here. I'm going for a Mike night, though. You're right, but I'm going to root for 40
everything
points
you just
anyway.
said,
everything you said is right. I want
nothing gets this show more hype than a Mike night.
Mike night? Are you kidding? The funky music comes
That's
on.
That's a Rocky night for
sure.
So
Nuggets are favored tonight on DraftKings. We open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. -4.5. Vote. Do you feel like the Nuggets should be favored on the second night of a back-to-back?
No.
Why not?
Because
Wizards suck.
Yeah, but the Wizards haven't been playing the worst basketball
that's
of
true.
late.
They have kind of
the Nuggets are still extremely banged up. 2 guys back, but that's back. I mean, they're not 100%. And you just saw exhaustion kick in last night on the road in the fourth quarter. So, I mean, yeah, favorites, sure, but slim favorites to me.
Speedy point guard in Russell Westbrook.
Big game note I did forget, though. No Ish Smith.
That changes everything, actually.
So this could have some implications on the.
Are you kidding?
Betting.
Like low key, big time.
Gone for 35. So.
If we go to the player props now and look at the points, Jokic 27.5. They expect Jokic to go off on the second night of a back-to-back with a hurt thumb. Dev, we feeling that? One-thumbed Jokic.
Jokic can do anything. Literally anything he wants to do, he can do. So yes. I don't even know who the big man is for the Wizards, so I'm sure that they're just going to feed him and let him just eat.
Remember when Jokic sprained his wrist in the playoffs, and then I think he had a triple-double the next game?
They've got, for real. They've got Mo Wagner, Robin Lopez, Alex Len. So,
lunch.
Yeah,
lunch.
Baby food. Jamal Murray, 21.5. What are we thinking there?
I am going to take the over. I don't like the defense from Washington there at the guard positions. And I think as bad as the turnovers were, Jamal Murray had a sneaky good offensive game outside of that. Saw his shot go in. I think he's looking a little better physically when trying to get to the rim.
I like it.
I like Jamal against Washington.
I like the over too. I'm back on the Jamal bandwagon.
We're back, baby. He's back. Playing alongside Gary Harris, though. Last 2 games alongside a point guard is my theory. We'll find out.
How many? This isn't a prop, but like how many shots do we think Gary Harris is going to take tonight?
8.
Yeah,
4.
Only 4, huh?
If he takes 4, I like that Jamal over.
Okay, there you go. Bradley Beal, 30.5.
Yeah. Oh, well, Gary.
That's his average. With little Gary, what are we doing here?
I mean, he has a lot of incentive in this game just to like Like,
Ooh,
this
do you
is
think he's gunning for the like, hey guys, trade for
yeah,
me?
like, or at least because
Watch how well I cut off ball.
all rumors are about him in Denver. Like everything, everybody
Yeah.
wants Beal, so he's gonna.
Look at this defense. Look at this on-ball defense.
Yeah, I think that like the incentives, he'll try a lot. So
Look, I'm great in the dribble handoff.
yeah, so I think yes.
If we go to assists, I always like looking at Jokic's assists. 8.5. 8.5. Is this an assist game or a point game for Jokic? Or both?
I'm gonna go with another point game. I'm
Yeah, I
just
think
gonna.
point game.
You think he's going to try to make assists early and be like, F it, I got to
I
split
mean,
50?
I know Gary's back. Monte is back as well, which is sneaky because if Monte plays against Boston, maybe Denver wins that game. Like Monte immediately being available, he's what? The Nuggets like third best option offensively now. So I think he actually helps Jokic out in the assist department a bit.
Yeah. Any other sort of prop bets you kind of like here? Any other players you kind of are curious
did we
about?
talk about MPJ? Because if
He's not on there.
He's not on there.
They never put him on there because he's too much of a like
cowards.
wild card. You
What
just
is he
can't-
gonna do?
You know, the one I might like. So Michael Porter goes 0 of 8 last game. I wouldn't be surprised if the Nuggets took Michael Porter first play of the game. Like, let's try to get this dude a bucket. That might be it's a dumb bet, but that might be worth throwing one on. Like,
What are we confident in the play call?
I mean, yeah, it's an ISO. It's easy to get him an ISO.
Okay, and ISO, yeah, the MPJ special on the left wing.
And he's gonna
I
have
like
Garrison Matthews or Denny Avdia. How do you say his name?
Avdia.
Avdia. They have
Yeah.
Denny Avdia on him. I don't know, man. I kind of like it. I'm going for it. That's my crazy dumb bet. All right, that's it, guys, for the pregame show. We still got about like 3 or 4 minutes, looks like, before tip-off, but we're going to sign off here. Don't forget the postgame show. We got good vibes. We're feeling it, man. A Nuggets win.
Yeah, feeling it.
We're feeling a positive postgame lounge, so let's hope it goes according to plan. See you guys.